Okay, now that I've got a full exhaust, it's a beat titanium headers with stainless steel mufflers. Exhaust a lot freer flowing than the standard exhaust. You can see there's no little bungs in the end like the standard ones sort of do, like that. There's a pipe in the middle. The beat one doesn't have that. A lot freer flowing, so I decided to add a tuner to make up for the probably slightly leaner mixture. It is a JMCA approved exhaust, so it's not completely straight through. It's got cats in it, so it doesn't need to be richened up too much, but I wanted to richen up a little bit, so I added a EJK electronic jet kit. Ordered it off eBay. There's heaps of other places you can order it from. They make them for a heap of different bikes. This one is for the W800. Where it does is it plugs into your injectors. So you unplug the standard injector clip, plug it into the EJK, and put the other clip back onto the injector. And you do that for both of them. You also get a earth wire which you hook onto the negative terminal of the battery, if you can see it there. And the other thing you get is an O2 sensor bypass, which is there. It's just unplugs from the standard loom. You plug this plug in, and it's just got resistors to tell the ECU that it's reading the correct mixture all the time, and you control the mixture with the tuner. And that's my standard O2 sensor unplugged for now. So this is the unit itself, pretty basic, pretty thin, nothing really to it. I said that's all it needs to be wired in. Nothing's permanent, you can completely reverse it, nothing's cut, spliced, etc. Does come with base settings. I changed from the base settings. Happens when you turn the key on. It just waits for a signal. But you can still view what's your current settings are by pushing the mode button. There's only 6 pages on this thing. First one is the low setting for cruise. Push it again, that's your acceleration. Again, that is your full throttle setting. Then the next 3 are for where each one starts. That's where the cruise starts, that's where the acceleration starts, and that's where the full throttle starts. So I'll show you that on the computer, it'll make more sense. And you just, if it times out after a while, so it goes back to that screen. So you push mode, then you can go up or down. See that? That's half. That's 3, so that's 3.5. 4 back where it was. And it'll time back out and go back to scrolling. That's with the bike off. I'll just start the bike quickly. See now, that's on 3. So that's the adjustment it's made. Turn that off because it'll be a bit loud. And yeah, that shows you all the adjustments it's making in real time. But I don't see that because it's under my seat. It'd look a bit weird if it was up on the handlebar somewhere, so it takes away from the look. But you could, you've got enough cable, you could extend it up somewhere you could see it just to tune it. But with the settings I've got, I'm pretty happy with. I'll probably fiddle around a little bit more, but I'm happy with it at the moment. It's drastically improved the mid-range. Revs a lot cleaner. So onto the computer, there is a page on their website where you can play with one on the screen. I've got a touchscreen laptop. So this is the settings I've got here, or what the settings I've got in the bike currently. So you can see the cruise has been adjusted up slightly, acceleration has been moved up a fair bit, and full throttle has moved up a little bit. This is for the Gen 3, I've got the Gen 3.5. So on the Gen 3.5, 3 is standard, and anything above that's adding fuel, anything below 3 is taking away fuel. So as you can see, I've added on these 3 added fuel. The other one's just where the map starts. I'll show you that. So as you can see, that's where the cruise is here. So if I want to change where cruise starts, I go mode to GB, so it's green and blue, lights flashing. So that's cruise, acceleration, full throttle, and that's where cruise starts. So as you can see, I'm moving where I want that to start. We can go to the next one. You can see, pick where you want acceleration to start. And full throttle where it starts. So you're changing where it gets richer or leaner in the map. It's pretty basic, like a Power Commander has a lot more zones you have to tune, but that's not really DIY. This is very DIY. I wouldn't recommend subtracting fuel unless you know it is rich. But when you add exhaust and do intake mods, you're probably going to have to add fuel most of the time. That's pretty much a quick overview on the W800 setup. There is a website where you can go to, I think it's Power Lab, where if you've got a special setup you can go into a lot more settings. It's a lot more professional. You probably need a dyno or a wideband setup, which I'm thinking about putting on temporarily by removing the standard O2 sensor in there, putting a different bung in for a bigger wideband sensor, and running a gauge up to here just temporarily, just so I can check the settings on the road. That, or take it to a dyno for a just to check, make sure it's not lean, but I don't think it is. Okay, this is just a quick look. This is how I usually have the EJK set up underneath the seat. I use the standard strap just to hold it down, not too much pressure, doesn't change the button or anything while I'm riding. So it holds it in there, it's easy to slide out. If I want to adjust anything, and just slide it back in. That's the best way I can see to mount it. I've seen someone else mount theirs at the front here. You can do that, you can put it anywhere really, I just prefer that. Doesn't change anything on the bike. What the unit cost me is approximately 250 Australian dollars. It was delivered, that come from an eBay seller in the US. The mods I've got, the exhaust, I've removed the snorkel from the intake on that side, and that's it really. And the EJK of course. What I hope to add is K&N filters, so I'm going to be removing the airbox completely, and I'll be adding individual filters on there. That might push the EJK to the limit. I'll have to see how well it can tune that. If not, I'll just take them off and go back to the standard airbox, because I like the way it goes at the moment. I just really want the filters mainly for the sound. We'll see if it gets any extra power, but you know, it's a W800, it's not a super sport bike or anything, it's not going to make a heap of power. It's just a nice bike to ride. So yeah, comparing the costs, I said this cost me about $250 delivered. A Power Commander, the one I've seen for the W800 starts at $440 US, and that doesn't include the auto tune. If you wanted it, that's an extra $200 I think. So yeah, that's, by the time you convert the currency and posted it to Australia, it'll be double the cost of the EJK. I mean, the bike's pretty simple, air-cooled twin, pretty basic fuel injection. I don't think it really needs a Power Commander unless, like I said, the filters on here are a bit too much for the EJK to handle. As I said, I won't pursue that, I'll just go back to this setup. It's a nice setup, makes the bike really nice to ride. Very, very torquey. So it's more of a torque motor than a power motor. So yeah.